Well, it's Saturday, the 8th of January. This is episode 2201 of Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me, at the JMO. New theme, new me, as they say. Hope you like it. Setting the tone for 2022. I think it's the most upbeat theme tune I've made since season 1. This episode marks the first show of season 5. Can you believe it? It's mind-boggling. I've never worked on a creative pursuit so consistently, week after week, for this long in my life. Making the 5th theme feels like a milestone. If you're keeping track, have done the binge, or been around for a while, we had Chiptune in 2018, a slightly ill-judged breakcore track in 2019, that I still have no regrets about. 2020 brought some synthwave, and last year's theme was that weird Casio electronica track, which in all honesty, I became a bit sick of by the end of the year. So I'm hoping that this year's pop punk will be something that we can all look forward to for the next 50 weeks. I made it the other night, as I still had my guitar plugged into my laptop after doing something else. 20 minutes of faffing with GarageBand's weird AI auto drummer, plus another 10 minutes with my bass, and within the hour it was all done. The whole time I was reflecting on how crazy living in the future is. I'm old enough to remember when a computer with a sound card was a big deal. And the first time I saw an external audio interface at secondary school, I was blown away. When I was about 14, my friends and I really wanted to start a sludge metal band, but the problem was none of us owned a distortion pedal, which as you can imagine is a real hindrance to making heavy music. A farcical teenage situation straight out of an episode of Pug War, or something. Even at university, MIDI and digital audio was plagued with clock sync issues and latency. It wasn't until after I graduated that Firewire interfaces became even remotely affordable. Anyways, this is all to say that a couple of years ago I bought a USB to 1/4-inch jack cable for a tenner, expecting it to be terrible. But it wasn't. I mean, of course it wasn't. It's the future now, and I'm old. But still, I think about teenage me, scrimping and saving for months to buy a second-hand Boss HM2 stomp box. Today, I can plug my guitar into my computer and have access to hundreds of simulated amps. This is a piece of technology I don't think I will ever take for granted. I bring all this up as this coming year looks like it's going to be full of stuff that teenage me would also be going absolutely nuts over. Game engines, VTuber tools, puppetry, internet money, land as platform, and all my interests in regenerative cultures and political gardening. The list goes on. Plus, I just bought a 3D depth camera with onboard AI and spatial processing, so I'm about to start, finally, learning Python. Over the break, I've been thinking about 2022 a lot, about how I want to spend my time, what I want to do with my life, and how I want it to feel. Due to some luck and some hard work, I find myself in my mid-30s working on things that I in some sense have always been passionate about. At the end of last year, I spoke about how 2021 felt like a year of stasis. For most of the year I was dealing with chronic procrastination, a personal crisis that meant I was unable to move forward with anything. To use the distortion pedal as a metaphor, this year I actually want to use it and do the things that I want to do. Actually do all the things that I want to create, make and work on. I've realised that the resistance I was feeling, the barrier to not doing any of those things at all last year, is related to the title of this week's episode. Am I the person that I believe myself to be? To actually do the things that need doing is to answer that question. The resistance is the fear of finding out. FOFO. I've always been scared of the effort required to find out the answer. The fear of finding out that I'm not the person that I think I have the potential to be. The fear of finding out is the long fear. It is the unanswered question of growing up. Is it not easier to keep doing the things you are already doing and put off the things that need doing to another day? Of course it is. It wasn't just last year. It's a question I've been afraid of facing my whole life. It's why I never did any homework at school, for example. Am I the person that I believe myself to be? The question is there in the middle of the night. It's waiting for you at the bottom of a depression pit. It hangs over you when things are going well and remains unanswered when you procrastinate. It manifests as the unwritten novel, the unfinished project, the staying in the job that you hate. But I do know that if I'm not the person I believe myself to be, then that's okay. Life continues to unfold and the world will keep turning. But with the question answered, I will continue to become whoever I actually am instead. The important thing is to find out.